Haven't actually thought about what I want to do, except for doing that one Neuvillete thingamabob. Oh god, getting sick sucks. Can't do anything. Well, you can do some things, but not a lot of things, and that's really the gist of it, isn't it? That's why being sick sucks. Oh, whoop. Wait. Is this even... What am I... Huh? Oh, okay. That works. And... this works. Alright. Oh, yeah. Where was it? Where was it? What was it? Put on a quest? Yeah. Oh, I haven't even done wisely yet. Oh. A familiar threat. Huh? Are you
some chronic problem?
Paimon has so many questions about his true identity. Let's go talk to him and find out.
I mean, don't we already know that? Ah, that's the feeling that you get when you don't do shit in order and do it that is kind of annoying that you have to basically do everything immediately, kind of. If you have to do it for the sole reason that the community spoils the fuck out of you at some point. Oh well. So, and this is where we pretend that Farina wasn't revealed yet. Well, revealed in a Fossilor? Whatever.
Wait, did I hear that right? Monsieur Neuvillete, are you sure you'd like to take over the case yourself?
That's right.
No, but why? Technically speaking, cases like this are better left to the guards.
Neuvillete! Sidine! Hey there! What are you two talking about?
Ugh, Traveler and Paimon, please help me talk our Chief Justice out of this. He wants to investigate a case on his own.
And why is that a problem?
This is completely unprecedented. How can we have the Udex acting like a private detective?
I can introduce you to some amazing detectives, like Heizo.
I trust that you'd be able to work that out with how well connected you are, but I must apologize. I do not plan on relying on anyone else's help for this matter.
Aww.
So, what is it exactly? It sure sounds serious if it's something you've got to investigate personally.
A Melusine named Kiara received a threat letter.
And then?
That is all the information I have acquired at this stage.
Huh?
I have no idea why you're so hung up over this. I've checked the schedule in advance, and it seems like there aren't any trials today. So, if you insist, I have no objections.
Oh, why did you get all huffy-puffy about it anyway, then?
Thank you for understanding.
Okay, someone, after... This has been weeks ago, and there's a voice line missing in the quest still? How is this voice line missing? After such a long time, I haven't even touched this. Why has nobody reported that this voice line is missing? If anyone were to visit while you're away, make sure to record the visit. Hope that you will return soon. Okay. Why is this voice line? Did they not want to pay him?
Judging from Sidine's reaction, it must be pretty rare for you to investigate stuff personally. What's so special about this case?
Or them. Oh, I don't know.
I cannot tell you just yet, but it reminded me of certain past events. There could be complicated conflicts of interest behind all this, so I must eliminate all risks in advance.
Okay, explain.
Come on, stop being so secretive. We still have no idea what's going on.
It is not my intention to keep you in the dark, but I need some time to revisit those memories and collect my thoughts. Long story short, a little more than 400 years ago, I became the Iudex of Fontaine and initiated a series of institutional reforms. There were few people I could trust, but I had two subordinates who were exceptionally trustworthy and capable. Carol, a Melusine, and Vautrin, leader of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol.
They must have been amazing people to receive such high praise from you.
Indeed. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to protect them. The reforms damaged the interests of some, and the more conservative faction took advantage of Carol's identity to instigate political unrest. Ultimately, they wanted me to yield more of my power. The incident resulted in Carol taking her own life, and Vautrin being exiled. From then on, I've been especially careful when dealing with cases related to Melusines.
Oh god. Perpetrators will... You're concerned that seems like they're using Melusines against you.
All Melusines used to live a secluded life away from human society. I granted their wishes when some of them, including Carol, asked me to bring them to the court of Fontaine. Many common folk believe that I share a special bond with the Melusines, and whatever they do can be traced back to me. Some of them, especially those who hold a grudge against me, exploit that belief and stir up conflict over Melusines in an attempt to lay the blame on me. I have nothing against the opinions of others, but the moment a whirlpool of conspiracy forms, it inevitably affects the innocent. It has already happened once, and I want to make sure it does not happen again.
Even so, why do you have to be the one investigating? There's the guards, the Maréchaussée Phantom, and the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol. Aren't they more than enough to figure out what's going on?
Based on prior experience, there is a high chance that those who hold hostility towards me do not belong to the same department. The political system of Fontaine is relatively complex and involves the interests of multiple different factions.
Really? I thought it was just I didn't see... I thought this is the city of bureaucracy and theater, not politics.
However, since I am technically an outsider in Fontaine, a lot of trouble could be avoided if I personally took on the case.
Outsider? But aren't you the Chief Justice of Fontaine? Why would you be an outsider?
I understand where you are coming from, but there is not necessarily a connection between my responsibilities and how I perceive myself. You know very well about my true identity, and have even met others of my kind in other nations.
Hydro Dragon Sovereign.
Even though I was born with a human form, there is a fundamental difference between dragons and humans.
Like what? I mean, like, physically.
Taking on the role of Chief Justice does not make me a part of this community. In fact, the status I was granted has prevented me from forming deeper bonds with others.
Ah, conflict of interest. You're supposed to be neutral, but if you have mutual understanding with, well, if you have friends, you could be biased in the court or something.
I have lived in Fontaine for a long time, but I do not belong here. That is why I call myself an outsider. A fish out of water.
We are also outsiders to Fontaine.
Yeah, we have nothing to do with all those organizations anyway. So how about we come with you on your investigation?
Yeah, plot has to develop at some point.
Let's team up and round up all the bad guys lurking in the dark.
Like Batman.
That does not sound like a bad idea. I rarely investigate cases on my own, but with professionals like you around, I'm sure it will go a lot smoother.
Professional.
Oh, Paimon's starting to get a little embarrassed. Just leave it to us.
Let us go. We should visit Kiara first and try to gain a better understanding of the situation.
So Neuvillete feels like he doesn't truly belong here in Fontaine, but is that really true? Paimon feels like he has a kinda skewed perspective on a lot of things. Anyway, let's catch up with him first. Paimon's been thinking. You called yourself a fish out of water, right? But since you're the Hydro Dragon, would a dragon out of water suit you better?
Thank you for your suggestion. I will consider using the more accurate term in private occasions. Please allow me to rephrase. Has a dragon out of water?
Ugh. That sounds kind of weird. Let's stick with the previous version instead.
Okay. Huh, this is what I always find interesting. Even if you do this... Oh, okay, so jumping... No, it doesn't. So you actually continue sprinting, but as soon as you don't sprint anymore, you go back to... Okay, interesting. Okay, any way to teleport? Maybe.
I never thought I'd see him here.
Does anyone have a camera?
What? This doesn't even make sense. Oh, hold on.
The weather's amazing today.
Kiara.
Monsieur Neuvillete! And you are? Oh, I remember. You're the Traveler and Paimon. I've heard about you. Aw, she's adorable! Hey there, it's nice to meet you. Thanks for the compliment. Is there anything I can do for you?
I heard from Sidine that you received a threatening letter.
A threatening letter? Oh, right! I remember now. The letter fell through the crack in my door as I was heading out this morning. It said something about catching me, so I thought someone wanted to play hide and seek.
Really?
But Sidine told me it was a threatening letter, and that I could be in danger. But that's not gonna happen with everyone looking after me, right?
Have you run into any suspicious-looking people recently?
Suspicious-looking people? What counts as suspicious?
Who always strikes up a conversation with you?
Did you think of something? Nope. I don't remember meeting anyone like that.
Do you still have the letter with you? I want you to show me what it says.
Oh, let's see. Found it.
I can't read that.
Now then, get lost. If you don't leave the Maréchaussée Phantom, I will come and catch you in person. Don't say I didn't warn you. A simple threat. Neither the handwriting nor the content itself reveals anything about the writer's intentions.
Yeah, considering the identity and we are being watched. We saw it.
We can't rule out that possibility. Since you can't think of anyone suspicious, I will be heading back to the Palais Mermonia to review some official documents. Kiara, you should come with us. It's safer if you stay close by.
Sure. Wait, no. I still have a case to work on. I promised Alof that I'd check on her place later.
But you are being watched right now. Going off on your own could be dangerous.
And that's where we come in to help. We'll stay with Kiara and make sure she's safe. With us around, anyone scheming to hurt Kiara can forget about it. Thank you, Traveler. Big Sis Paimon.
Big Sis Paimon?
Don't worry, your job!
I've never seen you fight.
All right, let us go our separate ways for now. Please take care of Kiara.
I thought we were playing Genshin, not to Resident Evil 4.
We'll take her to a lost place right away! See you around! So, Kiara, how old are you? Let me think. 1, 2, 10? I can't remember. But I remember coming to the Court of Fontaine with Carol and Neuvillete. That must have been a long time ago. Carol? Didn't Neuvillete mention her just now? That was more than 400 years ago. Why would Paimon be a big sister to you? My memory isn't that good. But Carol told me I could address others based on how I feel about them. Paimon feels a lot more grown up than me, so you're a big sis. Huh, Paimon sees. Hey, Traveler, did you hear that?
Yeah. Is that Charlotte?
Strange. Paimon felt like someone was following us. Olaf!
Kiara, you're here. Huh? Wait, aren't these two...
Oh, they're the Traveler and Big Sis Paimon.
I thought so. What brings you here?
We're on a secret mission.
All right, guess I shouldn't have asked.
May I begin inspecting the store as planned?
Of course. Go ahead.
What?
No hazards detected. You've cleared the inspection. Seems like the criminal from that case last month never set foot in here at all. That was quick. What were you inspecting? I took a look around the shop. Neuvillete says that us Melazines have special eyes that can see things people can't. Things like bloodstains. No matter how hard you try to clean them up, we Melazines can see the residual stains for some time. Pretty cool, huh?
All right. Now that you're done inspecting, can we have a chat? Hear me out. I'm planning to release an outfit for children next month and wanted to hire you as my model. Is that okay with you?
Of course! Is there anything I need to do?
Please wait a moment while I take your measurements. The sample should be a perfect fit.
Seems like they get along really well. Huh? What are you looking at?
There's someone over there.
Is there really someone watching us? Shh! Let's sneak over and take a look.
Sneak over?
I think light and frilly clothes look best on you. You definitely look cute wearing them.
I love them too! Especially the soft and fluffy kind.
Oh boy. Another... See, I knew it, Charlotte. But yeah, those are characters again that... Oh, she's behaving like a child, but she's over 400 years old. Why are you even going with this trope all the time?
Strange. Why isn't he back yet?
Neuvillete?
Gotcha!
That expression! Let's linger on that for a while. Let's linger on that expression.
Charlotte, what are you doing here?
Getting a scoop. Okay, yeah, you too.
Oh, wait, don't tell Paimon you're the one who sent Kiara that threatening letter. But you don't seem like the type to...
Threat letter? What threat letter?
Oh god. She's smelling something. What are you doing here?
This is starting to feel like an interrogation. Okay, I'll be straight with you. I don't know the slightest thing about that threat letter you mentioned. I only wanted to follow Monsieur Neuvillete and request an interview with him.
Why didn't you just go to him then?
You want to interview him?
Why did you hide and make sneaky photos? You could have just walked up to him.
That's right. I'm not the only one, you know. Interviewing him is every journalist's dream. But it's not an easy task to accomplish. The Palais Mermonia rarely accepts appointment requests from us, and we never have the chance to interrupt when the court's in session. So imagine how surprised I was seeing him out on the streets today. It seemed like you were investigating something too. The perfect opportunity to whip up an exclusive, don't you think? Of course, I'll make sure to turn in my manuscript to him for review. I have my principles, and I'd never publish an article without the consent of all parties involved.
It's better if we kept this a secret.
Yeah, we're doing a secret investigation that can't be made public knowledge.
I see. Well, if you say so, I guess I'll put this matter aside for now. Oh, what a shame. Chances like this don't come by very often, you know. In exchange, could you tell me what the threat letter is about? I swear I won't tell.
All right then.
What? Someone's targeting a cute little melazine?
Shh, not so loud.
It just so happens that I did an interview with Kiara. Last month, in fact. It was well received by our readers, so I was planning to continue the series. And now someone's coming after her. I'll ask my colleagues about it. Who knows? We might find something. And don't worry, I know what I'm doing. This secret's safe with me. But I gotta warn you, even if I keep my lips sealed, others will know eventually.
Why?
People care a great deal about Monsieur Neuvillette's each and every move. Some may have already realized that something was up. Besides, the case involves melazines, so... Anyway, I'll get going now. Watch yourselves, all right?
Well, that was a nice chat. Let's head back and check on Kiara.
Oh, Kerwin? Oh,
What do you think? The design looks pretty good, huh?
I think it's great!
Huh. It's very pretty indeed.
Harand! What are you doing here? It seems that you just showed up out of nowhere.
As I passed by the Palais Mermonia, I heard that Neuvillete was investigating a case with you. Technically speaking, he and I are under an employer-employee relationship. It didn't feel right to have my employer personally take on such trivial cases. I happened to have some time at the moment, and came to take a look. I sometimes have my clothes custom-made at this boutique, in any case, so we always have a lot to talk about.
Ah, Neuvillete sure is lucky to have someone like you.
Leave this to me. You should go meet up with Neuvillete.
Okay then, we'll leave Kiara in your hands. Come on, let's go find Neuvillete.
Alright. Where is he? Ugh. Wait, why is he already back there? Is he already back? Slacking off?
Oh, you're back. Is everything all right?
We ran into Cloran. She offered to help us protect Kiara.
That is good to hear. I trust her abilities. It looks like Kiara is in good hands.
We thought so too. Well, did you find any leads?
I've been looking over the case records, specifically inspection reports submitted by Kiara and major cases I've judged over the past decade. I've come up with two plans. On one hand, I could start with Kiara and track down the group behind all this step by step. On the other, I could also analyze the conflicting interests of these major cases and confirm my suspicions if there is indeed a mysterious group that bears a grudge against me.
They both sound like pretty solid plans, but can you really finish browsing through all these documents? That's a lot of reading even for Paimon.
Don't worry, I'm a fast reader when it comes to official documents. After all, I have several hundred years of reviewing under my belt.
We'll help you read through them. We have nothing else
Thank you. I will continue looking through the ones piled up on the desk, but feel free to browse through anything else in this room.
Oh boy, really? Library case. But well. Boring. He's confessed to his crimes and was declared guilty. Before where he will be serving his. Oh, okay.
Have you made any progress?
No.
We skipped through some of them, but there wasn't anything useful. Oh, there are so many documents lying around. Just how many cases have you handled?
I would love to answer that question, but the truth is I've never made a precise calculation myself. If memory serves me right, there should be at least 100,000 cases. The documents you see are just a small fraction of what's really there.
Whoa, that's a lot. Looks like the work of a Chief Justice isn't easy at all.
That might be how it seems from another's perspective, but trials and official duties are, to me, simply routine.
I mean, 100,000 over the span of 400 years? That's not too much.
There are many documents here. Take a break if you are tired.
You read Paimon's mind.
All right, let us take a break then.
Even though resting is a part of taking a break, shouldn't we at least talk about something? All this silence is making Paimon feel really awkward.
Please pardon my lack of consideration. People rarely come to the Palais Mermonia for matters outside of work. To be quite honest, I am not sure what we should do. Would you like to have some drinks, perhaps? You must be thirsty after all that work.
Ooh, drinks! Thank you!
After working 400 years with people, you still don't know that? I mean, I struggle, but I didn't have 400 years to figure this shit out.
Paimon wonders what Neuvillete likes to drink. Oh, maybe he's a fan of really fancy wines.
Like, venti?
He seems like the type of person who'd own an entire winery. You know, like D-Luke. What's inside these glasses? It looks just like water.
An astute observation. It is indeed water.
The best beverage of them all.
So it's just plain old water?
What did you think it was?
Since you're the Chief Justice and all, Paimon thought you'd prefer something more sophisticated.
This water is indeed very special. It would not be an overstatement to call it sophisticated. I believe you've already tried Fonta. In fact, there are many other drink factories in Fontaine, including those that specialize in packaging pure drinking water. Said water is sourced from all across Tevat, including Mondstadt's Cider Lake, Liyue's Chintsa Village, and Inazuma's Konda Village. Here is one of their latest products, water from Sumeru's Apam Woods.
Is there any difference? Yeah, there actually is.
If I were to comment on their mouthfeel, The waters of Cider Lake warm the heart. The waters of Chintse Village have a poignant touch, while one might call the waters of Konda Village placid.
Yeah, water can taste wildly different depending on which brand you take.
Distinct differences exist between the waters of each area. You will appreciate their intricacies once you taste them carefully.
Really? Let Paimon try!
What do you think?
Nope. Paimon couldn't taste any difference at all. Isn't this just normal water?
How regrettable. It seems like you still have a long way to go in refining your tastes.
Hey, this doesn't have to do with refining our taste. Paimon's pretty sure most ordinary people can't tell the difference. How did you do it anyway?
I mean, seriously, where I live, there are at least a bunch of different tasting water, depending on where they come from and what they are. I mean, the source of origin is important for the difference.
Oh, could it be because you're the Hydro Dragon?
No, it's not because of that, you dunce.
We are allowed to bring that up, right? Since no one else is around? Oh, Paimon's been wanting to ask this for ages! If you're the Hydro Dragon, why would you become Chief Justice in human society? Sorry. Paimon was just curious. You don't have to answer.
But it is a good question.
There's nothing to hide. I was simply organizing my thoughts. I accepted this position because I wanted to seek out answers to questions that have perplexed me.
Questions? Are there really things you can't figure out?
Many, in fact. But the one question that puzzles me the most concerns my own existence. In essence, I neither know why I was born in this form, nor do I understand where my long life should take me. I lost many memories from the moment I was born. The primordial sea, for example. I can only vaguely recall its connection to me, but I am unaware of what that connection is exactly.
Is anyone? It's fascinating how the lines they are reading are not the lines in the sub. Is there anyone who can answer those questions?
Perhaps the elemental dragons of other nations may have some form of an answer. However, they are scattered across all of Teyvat. Abruptly visiting could very well pose an unpredictable risk.
True. Some of them have very unique personalities, too.
I have been holding on to these unanswered questions for a long time. But there is one thing I've discovered along the way. My emotions easily resonate with those of others. Even I don't have the slightest idea what they mean. My guess would be that there are at least some similarities between humans and myself. By observing their behavior, perhaps I could one day understand the meaning of my existence.
Okay.
Have you made any progress then?
Perhaps, but I find such progress difficult to describe. As an outsider, chances to engage in meaningful interactions with others are few and far between. That's why I'm quite thankful for this chat. Such opportunities are rare. Alas, time is limited. We should move on with our investigation.
Are we gonna continue reading these documents? Paimon's getting dizzy already.
I wasn't able to find any leads even after browsing through most of the documents. But while we were on the topic of water a moment ago, another idea came to me.
Water? Do you mean...
The Fountain of Lucine?
That's right. The Fountain of Lucine is where all of Fontaine's waters converge. It is the vessel of countless memories and emotions. If there really were an organization attempting to use Melusines against me, they should also hold an intense resentment towards me. Perhaps we'll be able to find some new leads by sensing the hydro element within the fountain.
Huh. Why didn't Paimon think of that? Come on, let's go take a look!
Perhaps we should go. There shouldn't be too many people near the Fountain of Lucine during the evening.
Duh. Alright.
Monsieur Neuvillete?
I probably shouldn't disturb them.
Die!
Looks like we got lucky today. There's hardly anyone around.
What should we do next?
Why is it suddenly dark?
Oh, Traveler, can you still hear the voices from the fountain?
Should I drink more primordial seawater?
Perhaps leave the investigation to me. I need you to take a few steps back and keep a safe distance.
A safe distance? Neuvillete, what exactly are you? Whoa, it's glowing!
What just happened? Everything looks a little different. Wait, what? Why are we alone? Can't even jump. How can you not make me?
Thank you for bringing us here, Monsieur Neuvillete. The Court of Fontaine is truly incredible. There's so many things I've never seen or heard before.
I understand your excitement, but there's no need to thank me. Although I have responded to your wishes, it was not without personal interest. Melusine's special sight make them especially suited for joining the Maréchaussée Phantom. I'm certain you'll become an indispensable part of Fontaine's detective force.
I know, but I'm really glad to be of help. Not only can I repay you for your kindness, but also, it feels like my life has become a lot more meaningful.
But a meaningful life also comes with its risks.
It's definitely the safest to just stay in the village, but I want to see the outside world nonetheless. In truth, I've never really understood the purpose of my existence, or what I'm capable of contributing to this world. For almost 20 years, we've stayed in our village without finding any answers. That's why we wanted to leave our village and look for the meaning of our existence elsewhere.
I understand your confusion. In fact, I feel the same way. I too came here for an answer to my questions about my own existence.
Really? Could you tell us what we should do to fit in as you did? The truth is, many people threw rocks at us today and told us to go back to our village. It hurt a lot when they hit me in the head, and I tried really hard not to cry.
Why would... What kind of person do you have to be to immediately throw rocks at something that looks like a teddy bear?
Logically speaking, both time and effort are essential when different species attempt to peacefully coexist. It will be a difficult road ahead, with countless obstacles to overcome. Different identities and ways of thinking all contribute to strengthening the barrier between one another. Removing it will be no easy feat. There aren't many suggestions I can share, because just like you, I haven't fully integrated into this society. Despite my social status, I am still an outsider.
Oh, I see. Let's all do our best then. I'm confident that we'll find the meaning of our existence one day.
I believe in you, but you shouldn't lose sight of the difficulties ahead. If you run into any trouble, I suggest that you inform Vautrin, the captain of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol.
Huh? Is he the person I met in the Palais Marmonia earlier?
Yes? Do you have any concerns?
That stone-faced human. He didn't even bother to look at me when I tried talking to him. It felt like he wasn't interested in anything but work.
He is an earnest man. There will be plenty of opportunities to work together in the future, so please try to get along.
Okay. I can do that, huh?
Hello. Can I help with anything?
Thanks, but no need.
Oh. Hello, I'm Carol, a Melazine. Is there anything you need help with?
Get away from here! I'm calling the guards.
But she is the god.
Please, calm down. I don't mean to cause any harm.
How? No one. If this thing would look, why would you? I would be more curious than anything, and not why be hostile at them.
Hard to say. Yeah, we should probably stay away from these monsters. Haven't you realized? Strange incidents have been increasing ever since they came.
What?
Why should we trust this species from who knows where anyway? I can't believe Neuvillete allowed them into the court of Fontaine just like that.
Exactly. That so-called Chief Justice even granted them official positions. Not only that, but they're now responsible for investigating cases as well. I swear, there's some hidden agenda at play here.
Go away! Quit acting innocent!
Seriously?
I'm not leaving. I won't let you say bad stuff about him. We joined the Maréchaussée Phantom and solved lots and lots of cases. We've never done anything wrong.
Solving cases? With Neuvillete in cahoots with you? You could have fabricated it all, and no one would know. So tell me, how can you guarantee that you Melazines aren't involved in anything that occurred recently?
Didn't I tell you before? Don't go advertising if you're not a good talker.
Vautrin?
Aside from spreading unjustified rumors, if you continue insulting members of the Maréchaussée Phantom, the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol has every right to subject you to interrogation. There have indeed been an increase in cases recently, perhaps due to the shifting currents of conspiracy, and I understand your concern. However, there's been no evidence pointing towards Melazines being involved.
Even the captain of the security patrol is on their side. Neuvillette's newly reformed police force is already corrupt to the core. How can two completely different species possibly coexist?
I feel like Farina could have, you know, fucked them up a little bit.
You heard that?
Yeah. I don't understand. Why won't anyone believe us?
There have been rumors saying that you were born from calamity, and that you inherently bring danger to those around you. There are countless negative rumors about you floating around in Fontaine. It's near impossible for you to become a part of this society. Best if you give up before it's too late.
Monsieur Neuvillete said that we needed to put both time and effort in. I don't know how long it'll take, but I can at least try making my best effort. I still want to try a little harder. Thank you for bailing me out earlier. Okay, I won't be taking any more of your time. I painted a lot of flyers last night, so I have to stay and hand them out to everyone.
Give them to me.
You're not gonna take them away, right?
We'll hand them out together. The faster we get this done, the sooner we can head back.
Aye. I mean, why didn't Farina just say something about this? Why didn't she officially declare as the Hydro Archon to meet the Melazines with respect? I mean, they swooned all over Farina, so why wouldn't they listen to her?
Monsieur Neuvillete, what's this?
Medals of Peace, awarded to you and Vautrin. Thank you for your continued dedication in the past 5 years. You've taken one small step forward in helping Melusines gain the trust of humans.
I think I'll pass.
Hey, don't say that. We wouldn't have made it this far without you. It won't be long before Melusines begin living peacefully with the humans. Just the thought of it makes me happy.
Don't keep your hopes up. We've barely scratched the surface. There's still a long way to go before that dream of yours comes true.
You blockhead! Don't ruin the mood!
Vautrin brings up a good point. The trust humans have placed in you is still very fragile. Any small incident could undermine the hard work you've put in. Please be on your guard for the next few days.
Yes, sir.
Okay, got it.
And something happened.
Medal of Peace? Peace isn't going to give us back what's rightfully ours.
Are you sure we should do this? We're no match for Neuvillete, even with all our powers combined. What if...
Nah, not gonna happen. As long as he remains in his position, there's no chance he'd take us out personally. There are rules even he must comply with in the political sphere, unless he wants to become an enemy of Fontaine. So quit worrying and just go ahead with it. I've already planned out the murder. Once we lay the blame on the Melusines as the person who brought them to the court of Fontaine, Neuvillete will be left with no excuse.
I guess you're right. Ugh. If he just left things the way they were, it never would have come to this. But he's forced our hand. Time to teach him a lesson.
You wanna beat him in court? Where so far truth has prevailed for hundreds of years? Well, maybe not yet, but you know. She's the only NPC that doesn't give too hard of an NPC vibe. I mean, it's still very noticeable that it's an NPC, but it's one of the more unique looking NPCs I've seen. While the male counterparts still look very basic.
Turn the murderer in!
Ay, ay, ay.
Melusines can't be trusted! That goes for Neuvillete too!
Peaceful coexistence? What a joke. Get out of the court of Fontaine and don't ever come back.
God, it's like you're yelling at a cat. I mean, not the cat that doesn't give a shit and just puts your butt in your face, but, you know.
The results of the investigation are in, Captain Vautrin.
Go on.
There is no direct evidence, but reasonable inference indicates that the ones controlling the situation are supporters of the old regime, whose interests have been undermined by the reform. They tricked Miss Carroll into going to the crime scene and pressed charges against her. After that, they incited panic among the people in order to make Monsieur Neuvillete confess to his mistakes and yield up power. The guards were stopped by the enraged mob and couldn't intervene in time. Miss Carroll chose to sacrifice herself to pacify the situation.
How?
And she called me a blockhead. A little investigation would have cleared things up. Why didn't she wait until we'd established the truth? She didn't have to prove her innocence like that.
Like what? What did she do?
The situation had rapidly escalated to a physical altercation between infuriated citizens and the guards. Miss Carroll might have thought there was no better plan.
That is indeed something she'd do.
Captain Vautrin, should I present these results to Monsieur Neuvillete right away?
There's no need. Notify the guards to restrict public access to all information.
Restrict access to... Wait, are you planning to...
There's something I've never told Carol. I had a little sister named Ilaria who passed away when I was very young. She's just like Carol in every possible way. Innocent, kind, always believing the best of people. People like her are the most vulnerable to deception and betrayal. From the moment I met Carol, I knew that she'd be easily manipulated by others. I kept a cold demeanor and tried lecturing her into giving up.
Looks like she was unfazed by that.
Yes. In fact, some of her spirit must have rubbed off on me instead. Because I too began working towards that pie-in-the-sky dream of hers. I should have known. Those cowards don't have the guts to confront Neuvillete. They even avoided causing trouble for me. They were after Carol all along. Can you understand how I feel? Right now, there's only one thought on my mind. Only through bloodshed can their debt be repaid.
I understand, but I'm certain Monsieur Neuvillete wouldn't accept that as a solution.
That's exactly why we need to keep this a secret. Give me the list of suspects. What happens after this has nothing to do with any of you.
Oh god, he's going on a murder spree?
I will take responsibility for everything.
Why?
Did you know? They're hearing a major case today, and the criminal is Captain Vautrin of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol. Apparently, he resorted to personal measures to seek revenge for Carol and settled the score with the group that framed his friend. Hey, why aren't you saying anything?
I'm thinking... we should try our best to bail him out when the trial commences.
Bail him out? Why?
Shh, keep it down! Haven't you realized? Both Vautrin and Carol are Neuvillette's most trusted subordinates. After everything that happened to Carol, Neuvillette's guaranteed to do everything he can to keep Vautrin around. Besides, now that the old regime has been uprooted, Neuvillette's status is secure as can be. As long as we redirect public opinion, Neuvillete will be able to give Vautrin a reprieve. The benefits are endless.
Vautrin sought vengeance for his friend for a valid cause. This represents the justice he upholds. Please think about it. If the same thing had happened to you, wouldn't you feel the same way he did?
Yeah, that's right! This whole thing started because of those despicable cowards who levied false accusations against Carol. How could Vautrin be declared guilty for seeking revenge?
Oh god, that sounds very bad. I mean, justifying murder is always a hard thing, I guess. The need of the many outweigh the needs of the few or something like that.
Monsieur Neuvillete.
Mr. Vautrin is innocent! He's innocent!
Order! I acknowledge your arguments. Vautrin, your revenge could be seen as a form of justice. I understand your decision, which is why I cannot help but feel regret and even grief about the judgment I must now impose. Personal justice does not equate to justice as defined by the law. To execute your plan for revenge, you abused your authority and conducted informal executions. Your actions have thus violated the law. Therefore, you will be declared guilty.
What? That can't be! Monsieur Neuvillete, please give this a little more thought. He has done so much for Fontaine.
Vautrin, my friend, is there anything else you want to say?
Wait, so you had friends and then you didn't have them anymore? What? Because of this one trial? Where you had to send one of your closest friends you've actually made to death?
Neuvillete, what have I done to deserve this? I've closely followed every one of your orders. Can't you see? Everyone in this room believes that I'm innocent. Why can't you just let me off?
Because you can't make exceptions just for one person.
Is this what justice means to you? Answer me, Neuvillete!
Order. Since there have been no further objections, the Oratrice will now deliver the final verdict regarding the charges against Mr. Vautrin. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal, Mr. Vautrin will be declared guilty.
Goodbye, Monsieur Neuvillete.
This all happened because of Carol's naive ideas.
How can different species peacefully coexist anyway?
Oh no! Now his death was meaningless because everyone blames the Melusines now? No, that can't be it. It doesn't sound right.
Hey, stop spacing out!
No, never!
What's wrong? Are you not feeling well?
What was that?
Apologies, it seems like my memories got the better of me. I tried my best to suppress the power of Hydro within myself, but it seems like it still caused the emotions within the Fountain of Lucine to boil over, due to my negligence. The overflow of emotions and memories must have affected you as well. Are you all right?
Yeah.
Wow. The Hydro Dragon is more powerful than Paimon thought. Anyways, the last time we came here, the Traveler only heard voices from the Fountain of Lucine. No emotions boiling over or anything.
It is as you said. This might be because I am different. It is not only the fountain. I can sense emotions from all waters in Fontaine. Rivers, lakes, and even the rain.
That sounds awesome!
But I rarely ever do anything like this. Emotions carried by water are always chaotic and disconnected. As an outsider, having my mind occupied with irrelevant memories isn't exactly a pleasant experience.
The memories I saw were related to you.
Which ones?
From what you brought Carol to the court to when you declared Vautrin guilty.
It's fine. I prefer not to speak of those memories. That does not mean I am deliberately hiding them. It was a coincidence, but perhaps it is a good thing that you saw everything in that form. You should now understand why I believe there to be a conspiracy behind all this. These two cases are much too similar. I felt like I needed to do something.
Paimon's starting to lose track of what you're saying. Don't leave Paimon out of the conversation. Paimon wants to help too.
Can get some drinks and get off here.
Then let us get back to the point. While I was investigating the fountain, I discovered something strange. I did not sense too much hatred towards me within its accumulated emotions. I don't know what caused this to happen, but it seems like there won't be a shortcut to finding the organization that may be pulling the strings here.
Wait, what? The sub doesn't even correlate remotely with what was said anymore.
However, I did find some resentment directed towards Kiara. If I remember correctly, it seemed to be related to a smuggling case.
Wait, the smuggling case was mentioned before, and now it's the other, and now he says what he said before. What is wrong with this story quest? Hoyo, your quality assurance team is fucking up more and more the further the development of the game goes.
Oh, didn't we read about that in one of the documents?
You've read about it? In that case, the resentment should have come from that incident.
Huh? What are you doing here? I was just about to look for you at the Palais Mermonia.
Navia! Nice to see you again! Is there something we can help with?
I've heard some things, but I'm not purposely asking around or anything. Don't worry. Rumors are abroad that someone's scheming against Melusines, and that you're investigating the case. So I told the Spina di Rosula to keep an eye out for leads. We've had unfamiliar faces showing themselves at the Fleuve Cendre lately. Maybe you'll find the suspects among them.
Thank you. Where did you hear about all this?
The Chief Justice out on investigation, accompanied by the Traveler from afar. No matter how you conceal your whereabouts, there will be countless eyes watching you. You talked to Kiara, but didn't ask her to keep things secret. People curious to know asked around for information, then it was only a matter of time before word of the threatening letter spread all across Fontaine.
So that's what Charlotte meant.
Indeed. I did not expect that this could be kept hidden for too long. but the rumors still spread faster than I imagined.
You know, it could be because you attract more attention than you think. Anyway, any progress with the investigation?
The suspects who threatened Kiara might have to do with a certain smuggling case, but it is still uncertain if there is in fact another party behind all this. We are planning to return to the Palais Marmonia to revisit some details and identify the senders of that threatening letter.
All right, then I'll round up the Spina di Rosula and follow up on their progress. Wait for my word. Ta-ta!
Neuvillete, do you think there'll be any problems now that the word is out?
I have already considered that possibility, and I do not think that there will be any. As a matter of fact, once the word gets out, no one would dare to harm Kiara in broad daylight. What is more important is how the case is perceived by the public. 400 years ago, they chose to side with the old regime and direct their resentment towards the Melusines. I hope the same won't happen again. Let us head back to the Palais.
Strange. What are these people doing out on the streets so late at night? Did something happen? Let's take a look around.
Have you heard? Someone's plotting against a Melusine. This is 100% the truth. Even the Chief Justice is investigating in person.
What? That's it! Who's been threatening Melusines? Show yourself!
No, wow, the tune changed so much from so many 100 years ago.
Our enemies are lurking in the shadows and won't easily reveal themselves. But no amount of hiding will keep us from finding them.
That's exactly what I wanted to say. The guards have already begun to take action. We can't just stand by and watch. Think about how much we owe them. Now that they're in danger, how can we just sit back and do nothing?
Everyone, please stay alert to your surroundings from now on. If you see any suspicious persons, report them to the guards immediately.
It feels like you've been following me this whole time. Did something happen?
We were informed that. Nope. We just finished our shifts and happened to be strolling by.
Have you had dinner yet? Why don't we check out the new items at the dessert shop together?
This isn't a good time to be out and about. Come on, don't act tough. I bet you're hungry too.
All right, let's go buy a cake or something.
You shouldn't ever skip meals, especially if you have another shift scheduled for later.
Is she lisping, or how it's called?
I heard even Neuvillette's keeping an eye on the situation. This is the perfect chance to get promoted. We gotta make sure we give it all we've got.
Seriously? Were you planning to shirk your duties if Neuvillete wasn't involved?
Relax, I was just playing. We've worked together for years now. If something happened to them, I'd be haunted by regret for the rest of my life.
That's more like it. We should stand guard until the criminal has been caught.
Come and fight me instead, you cowards!
Have you heard? Even the Special Patrol came to help.
Shh, look. Isn't that Neuvillete? I think he's looking at us.
Looks like there's nothing to worry about.
This is truly wonderful.
So, wanna go over and say hi?
No, I should stay where I am. My appearance could give rise to unnecessary commotion. Let us stick to our plan and return to the Palais Marmonia. The faster we uncover the truth, the better.
Right. So we'll teleport all the way back to the other side. Oh. Huh? What? Do I have to look through all of them again? Oh. I don't know what to do. Is this really all I have to do? Oh, whoops. Wait, there, the smuggling.
The smuggling case was solved by the joint forces of the guards and the Maréchaussée Phantom. This is the one. The list of involved suspects should be... Ah, found it.
What does it say?
The principal offenders Domenico, Inica, Yuna, and others have been caught. They have been sent to the fortress of Meropide following trial. Those with close connections or mutual interests with the offenders but who did not participate in the case will not stand trial. Among them, surveillance of Essin has ceased on account of his good behavior. All other personnel remain on our watch list.
So many names. Is the one who sent that threatening letter to Kiara on the list?
Yes, there is something suspicious about Essin, to be precise. It seems like he's closely related to the core members of the smuggling case, and he moves around without much restriction.
Okay.
Monsieur Neuvillete, someone claiming to be from the Spina di Rosula just checked in with us. He said, and I quote, "We have located the suspect. They're chatting at the cafe."
Huh? How did Navia find them so quickly? We've only just figured out the suspect's name.
I too am perplexed. The cafe isn't too far from here. We should head over and take a look.
All right. What's with the music?
Hey, Navia, we're here! Whoa. Check out all these people. Hey there, are you Navia's friends too?
These are the people who have had recent dealings at the Maréchaussée Phantom. They're usually hidden in the Fleuve Cendre, but I sent for someone to invite them over.
Invite them over?
Exactly. Now, I heard there's great coffee here, and so I asked them if they'd like to come and have some.
Yeah, it's our pleasure to be guests of the Spina di Rosula.
I've wanted to have a meetup like this for ages.
Something feels off, but oh well. Let's get back to business. Is there anyone called Essin here?
Yes, that's me.
You're Essin?
Yes, monsieur Neuvillete.
Did you write that threatening letter to Kiara?
I did, but I was just following orders.
Orders from whom?
Domenico. He was my boss. I couldn't disobey his orders.
Domenico? Where is he now?
The fortress of Meropide.
Well, I'm afraid even the Spina would have trouble looking into that place.
Wait, but how can he send out orders when he's within the fortress of Meropide?
Looks like you'll have to make the trip yourselves. This was as much as I could do.
You've done more than enough. I am extremely grateful for your help.
Leave the formalities for later. You should find Domenico first. If he really is the one setting up the conspiracy, it'd be best if he's exposed as soon as possible.
All right then, let's head to the fortress right now.
Huh? Like what? Continuing the conquest may cause parts of the okay. Of course, continue Cohen quests. I don't even know when I got the quest, the other thing, whatever.
Shower me with praise! Oh, it's Monsieur Neuvillete.
Welcome to the Fortress of Meripede, dear esteemed guests.
We're back! Oh, and a greeting from none other than the Duke himself! Guess we made a name for ourselves at this place.
This isn't anything new. I figured you had important matters to discuss when the two of you, not to mention the Chief Justice, showed up. Let's assume we've gone through the pleasantries and cut right to the chase. I do remember a thing or two about Domenico. He once attempted to round up the other inmates and instigate a protest.
Who does this guy think he is? Paimon hopes nothing came of it.
He once attempted to, I said, meaning that it was over before it even started. And now he's threatening Melazines, is he? To be honest, Domenico doesn't seem like much of a conspirator. The fact that the three of you bothered to personally investigate raises a flag. Is there something else going on behind the scenes here?
He's got the same concerns we do.
I am concerned about this incident because something similar has occurred in the past. I wish to meet Domenico in person and have my questions answered.
That's an easy one. Let me think. I think he's at...
Oh, did I hear someone say Melazine? What happened? Siegeween!
Okay, threatening letter.
Yeah, and we're investigating. The person who threatened her seems to be imprisoned here. Really? Is Kiara gonna be okay?
There's no need to worry. Clarande is protecting her as we speak.
Well, that's great. But if the criminal's still... Is there anything you can do about this?
Ah, head nurse. Do you require me to personally deal with the criminal?
Wriothesley.
Okay, I get it. I'll bring Domenico to you. That's your only demand, correct?
Think of it as more of a humble request. I'm here on my own accord, not to formally transfer a criminal for trial. I urge you to set aside any concerns. Thanks for the trouble. Consider me in your debt.
Whoa! If Paimon were the Duke, Paimon would take this chance to ask for something really important.
Well, were I still a criminal, I'd probably ask for a lighter sentence. But I'm sure Monsieur Neuvillete would reject that. But enough jokes. I'll look for Domenico and bring him to you. Make yourselves at home. Our dear head nurse has mentioned you quite a few times, so I'm sure she has a lot to say.
Ugh. I'm not into
Please
this
come with
character.
me to the infirmary. Ah, and watch your step. There's some pretty dark areas, so make sure you don't trip over anything.
I think this is the right one. Oh, even higher? What?
Did Neuvillete just walk by?
Now that I think about it, I can leave this place soon. Huh?
I wonder what happens if I...
Illusion shattered!
Please rest here for a moment.
Okay, it doesn't show up.
Oh, and would anyone like anything to drink? Paimon's not that thirsty, but thanks anyway. Thirst is a warning sign that you're dehydrated, which means you have to drink up even before that.
Is it?
I'll bring you some tea. I'm sure sure you'll have a lot to talk about. Typical Sijun. Concerned about everyone's health as always. Why aren't you two saying anything?
Criminals we passed by earlier.
You noticed them too. The badges they wore on their chests looked quite familiar.
What? I haven't seen anything.
Familiar? Paimon didn't even realize they were wearing them. But if both of you say so, let's go ask them about it.
Sight for sore eyes around.
That's not a bad idea. I will stay here and wait for news from you.
Alright. Actually, yeah, I wanted to look something. Ah, it's not open.
Anything you need?
The badge you're wearing.
Oh, this? Are you interested in joining the Mutual Aid Network?
What's that?
We have a very long history, going back as far as 400 years ago. We have never had many members throughout our history, nor do we have much of a reputation, but everyone treats each other like family. Helping each other is our purpose. At the same time, we seek to maintain just dealings as much as possible.
Sounds like a pretty neat organization.
All we want is to defend ourselves. None of us have ever committed serious crimes, and we're not especially powerful either. We're at a natural disadvantage here in the fortress, but people won't give us a hard time if we stick together.
Okay.
Interested in joining the Mutual Aid Network? If you'd like to learn more, here's our flyer.
Mutual Aid Network. Short for man?
Our slogan may have evolved over the centuries, but our goal has remained unchanged. Here, this book is for you. You're welcome to come and sign up anytime.
You sound like some sort of weird cult.
You two look kind of familiar.
Badge.
It's the symbol of the Mutual Aid Network designed by our first president. From what I've heard, it's based on something called a Medal of Peace. I've never seen one of those medals for myself, though.
Medal of Peace? Are those the people from the dude that got executed? Is this the cult that started to rise up because he was Nah, I don't know if he was executed, but he was charged guilty.
The first president of our network was an amazing person. Powerful as he was, he never used his strength against anyone. He encouraged the weaker criminals to stick together and look out for each other. All of us have a lot of respect for him.
We should have gathered enough information. Let's head back and talk to Neuvillete.
Did you manage to gather any intel?
It actually doesn't make any sense that they come from that side. They should have come from the stairs.
The people who wore the badges belong to an organization called the Mutual Aid Network. According to them, the badge's design was inspired by the Medal of Peace. Have you seen any of those before?
I personally crafted 2 of them myself. They were awarded to Carol in Vautrin. Carol's medal was destroyed in a fire. The only one that remained should belong to Vautrin.
Oh, so the network was inspired by... Monsieur Neuvillete, His Grace has requested your presence in his office. He's found Domenico.
All right. Let us talk to him first and get to the bottom of this situation. Allow me to introduce this fine gentleman, Domenico.
You look so basic.
Why don't you explain everything to him?
Neuvillete? What do you want? What are you gonna do? Kill me?
Calm down. I merely want to ask you a few questions. Was it your idea to send that letter to a Melusine? Hassan has already confessed, so there really isn't any need to keep hiding.
That idiot! I can't believe I trusted him.
Let me ask this another way. It was your idea to send that letter, correct?
Yes.
Who is pulling your strings?
What? You're not trying to frame me for something I haven't done, are you?
It's best if you realize the gravity of your situation. The Chief Justice of Fontaine has been personally investigating your case. I assume your previous attempt to incite unrest at the Fortress of Meripede has something to do with this as well.
I admit I acted on impulse. I'll tell you the truth. But before that, you must ensure my safety.
I can do that.
You see, we're all reasonable people here.
I only intended to do some small business at first. Someone contacted me about delivering some goods and promised me a generous sum of more in return. After making a few trips, I was suddenly approached by the Marechaussee Phantom. They accused me of smuggling prohibited items, and I was put on trial. But I refused to accept any of that. The ignorant can be rightfully absolved from guilt, right? Well, I suspect that someone got me locked up here so they could get their hands on my goods.
And then you decided to take revenge on the Melusines? Over that?
Ignorance is not an excuse, by the way. Oh boy.
My initial target was Neuvillete. Everyone in the Fortress of Meripede was declared guilty by him after all. So they must more or less hold a grudge against him, right? If I could get them to strike back. But for some reason, no one wanted to team up with me. That mutual aid network in particular. What did those nobodies even gain from trying to challenge me? Seriously. In the end, I had to redirect my focus onto Melusines to salvage things. I recall that Chiara was the one who confiscated my goods for inspection. So I asked one of the more approachable guards to send a letter, claiming that I meant to contact my family. But the letter was in fact addressed to Essa. I requested that he write a threat letter to Chiara and force it to resign from the Marechaussee Phantom.
Am I to assume that the claims you've made are your own thoughts? Have you been in contact with any suspicious people recently?
No.
Is it true that all members involved in the smuggling scandal have been caught?
Yes. And that's all I know.
Eh? Case closed?
Sigewinne, please take him back to the detention center. I'll deal with him later. So, Monsieur Neuvillete, you were concerned that there might be a shadowy faction looking to capitalize on the delicate situation with the Melusines to stir up greater chaos?
Yes. I experienced a similar incident in the past, so I had to be prepared for any possibility.
And how long ago was this incident?
More than 400 years.
You might be overthinking this. Time can change a lot of things. Everything's different now.
What do you mean?
400 years ago, you and the Melusines you brought to Fontaine were the outliers in society. But in the present day, if someone were to threaten the safety of the Melusines, people wouldn't just sit back and do nothing. I trust that they would make different choices from before.
That's right! We saw lots of people standing up for Melusines on our way back to the Palais Mermonia.
Monsieur Neuvillete, the Melusines are a species you introduced to Fontaine. How the public treats them is also reflective of their attitude towards you. When people refused to place their trust in Melusines, it was because they were still on the fence about you, their unfamiliar Chief Justice.
For almost 500 years, you've conducted every trial with impartiality. You made the right judgment each time, regardless of whatever nonsense went on. People no longer have any reservations about you and even consider you a symbol of the law. Right now, your every decision will impact all of Fontaine. In other words, you've gradually transformed the whole nation.
Paimon gets it now. No wonder no one wanted to join forces with Domenico.
Tragedies like that won't ever happen again.
I am undeserving of such high compliments. From my perspective, I have simply been fulfilling my duties.
And that's a lot of times all that you need to do to make yourself into a recognizable and admired figure.
It isn't anything special or worthy of praise. I'm simply fulfilling the promises I've made and searching for answers through my judgments. It is unnecessary to hold me in such high regard. The complexity of human emotions and willpower far exceed those of mine. As a matter of fact, I believe that you are the ones who deserve my respect.
There's no need to be so modest. The current state of affairs says it all. You're no longer that outsider you were before. Even if you wished to investigate something on your own, many would take the initiative to lend you a hand.
I must say that you've made a fair point. Thank you for clearing my doubts. Now that the case has been settled, I should get going.
Huh? You're leaving?
And so soon, too? Why not stay for a cup of tea?
Thank you for the offer, but I know how this place works all too well. While some are here to redeem themselves, there will inevitably be those who harbor resentment towards me. The less time I spend here, the better. My presence could very well result in an unwanted disturbance.
In that case, I'll have to insist. I still have 2 more things to say.
Please, go ahead.
The first is about the guard who helped Domenico send that letter.
Ah, I know of what you speak. The guard was indeed deployed from the Palais Mermonia's staff. However, as I mentioned earlier, I visited today on personal business. Therefore, I leave that matter in your hands.
Well, that makes things a lot easier.
What's happening?
Hey now, don't let your imagination run wild. Those from up there have a tendency to sympathize with others. However, down here, such thoughts will put you at high risk. I'll have a chat with the guard and remind him to take precautions in the future.
I see no issues with that.
Great! That's one thing out of the way. What's the other thing you wanted to say?
The other thing was born from my own sense of curiosity. Now, I've heard that you investigated the mutual aid network. Is that right?
Investigation is kind of a long shot. Nah, we just talked to like 4 people for mere seconds.
Yep. Neuvillete thought their badges looked familiar.
I noticed the small gang as well when I first took over the Fortress of Meripede. They were not great in number, but every member always made sure to stand up for what was right. I've looked into their founder, Vautrin, who once stood trial and was sentenced to imprisonment in the fortress. According to existing documentation, Vautrin remained disciplined throughout his imprisonment. He had never once engaged in physical or verbal aggression. In other words, how he presented himself in prison was very different from his behavior in court.
What?
Doesn't he hate Neuvillete?
During his trial, I could sense that his feelings were complicated. He appeared to be full of resentment, and I believe he had every right to feel that way.
Perhaps he had been putting on an act.
An act?
What?
Neuvillete and Vautrin had a close relationship as superior and subordinate. Vautrin must have known that the Chief Justice would make an impartial judgment. Thus, the more resentment he displayed, the clearer it would be to those present that you were upholding justice.
Oh, interesting. So even in that, he tried to help.
And to those who had been sitting on the fence, Vautrin's act was a very meaningful one. That's all from me. Does anyone else have anything to say? Now's your chance.
I don't have anything to say. Apart from expressing my gratitude, that is. Well then, let us head back. No need to see us off.
Please, take care.
Huh, okay. Why can't it be dark.
That trial is something I rarely bring up in conversation, but I have always felt deep regret for what happened to both Carol and Vautrin. The words he spoke in court often replay in my mind, as if urging me on to do something.
But Risley said he never resented you, right? Isn't that a good thing?
I believe I now understand what he wanted to tell me. I feel conflicted about those words. How should I describe it? Surprise, relief, fear, and regret. But this blend of emotions has led me to finally understand some things. I would like to hear your thoughts, too. What do you think of me?
Paimon agrees with everything Risley said. As Chief Justice, every single one of your trials makes an impact on Fontaine. What do you think, Traveler? Hey, any comments?
What I really think is...
You speak in a story quest? Seriously?
Every trial you've ever judged has left its impression on you. And that's what makes you who you are today.
Finally, the voice actor gets paid. The Hydro Dragon sovereign Neuvillete still thinks of himself as an outsider due to his identity. But so much time has passed since then, perhaps the lines between him and humans have long since blurred.
That is indeed a reasonable assumption.
Why didn't you say that to him?
As I said, I find it difficult to express my emotions because I cannot fully understand myself.
So basically like every other human ever. If we would be capable of fully understanding our emotions, there would be far less problems. But being human means to be in conflict with yourself a lot. Especially emotional conflict.
But I trust your judgment. Since some time ago, I have begun to notice the changes that have occurred upon my person. These changes were not due to any specific occurrence, but emerged as a result of time itself. I will try to contemplate this further. Thank you both.
Oh, huh? It's raining! Oh no, Paimon forgot to bring an umbrella! Come on, let's hurry before it rains harder!
Wait, are you crying? Is that why it's raining? Are you sad?
It's raining again? I've had enough of this weather.
There go my travel plans.
Did you read the news this morning? Quick, put away everything on the clothesline.
When is this rain going to stop?
Hydro Dragon, don't cry!
They're planning to reanimate the monster. We have to report this to the Chief Justice.
The Fortress of Meripede. It's a good place for me.
He owes me so many answers.
Neuvillete? You could say he's the real symbol of Fontaine's justice.
Watch him closely. He could be trouble.
How can two completely different species possibly coexist?
Who's been threatening Melusines? Show yourself!
You will see much in the human world, from the delightful to the depressing. And one day, When you have dwelt among humanity long enough, you will be placed to bring judgment over all as a spokesperson for Fontaine's past.
Good morning, Monsieur Neuvillete! The rainy season's almost over! The skies are supposed to clear in a few days!
I hope you find time to enjoy the sunny days ahead.
Is the matter resolved?
This must have been one of the first story quests with no fighting involved.
Yep, we found the person who sent that threatening letter. Risley said he'd keep a close eye on him, so the Melusines should be safe now.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Sorry for dragging you all into this.
There's no need to apologize.
Yeah, you didn't drag us in. We got involved of our own accord.
By the way, where's Kiara?
At the Palais Mermonia, more than 50 people offered to protect her. Some even hid within the bushes to look out for danger.
God, they are obsessed with Melusines now.
I was worried that the excess of protection would make her feel uneasy, so I asked her to stay inside the Palais. It's very safe in there.
What a relief.
Well, now it looks like the dust has finally settled. To celebrate this joyous occasion, Monsieur Neuvillete, would you be interested in an exclusive interview?
That's not how you celebrate!
I will consider it.
Really?
Of course. My schedule is full for the following weeks, but I should be available next month. Come up with questions during the intervening days, and I will answer them to the best of my ability.
Brain is malfunctioning.
Yes! Thank you so much, monsieur!
Now, if you'll excuse me, I must head back to the Palais and issue a communique to publicize our investigation results. I hope it will assuage the concerns of all.
Oh, an exclusive interview! Am I dreaming? What should I ask him?
Don't let anything hold you back. Make the most of this opportunity and ask away.
I agree. He'll decline any question he can't answer anyway, so you might as well give all of them a shot.
I mean, that is true.
Kiara?
Monsieur Neuvillete? Sorry, I accidentally fell asleep.
It's quite all right. I'm here to tell you that we have caught the sender of that threatening letter. You're safe now.
Thank you, monsieur. And thank you too, Traveler and Big Sis Paimon. Everyone's been so nice to me, so I've always felt really safe.
Do you remember Domenico? He was the sender of that letter.
Let me think. I can't remember. My memory isn't that good, so I easily forget things. By the way, I saw Carol in my dreams just now. Where's she gone, by the way? I haven't seen her in a long time.
Wait, did she die?
In my dream, she looked really happy.
She held my hand and said, Kiara, our dreams have finally come true. I can't remember what our dreams were anymore, and I don't know why. But I felt really happy too.
I can sense your joy. It is indeed a delightful moment.
Wait, did she die when she tried to calm things down? That's what they meant by sacrifice?
Monsieur Neuvillete, are you happy too? Oh, I almost forgot. Am I allowed to go out now?
Oh yeah, no, that can't be it, because otherwise they could have already been dealt with for instigating murder.
I promised to model for Alov.
Of course. Off you go.
See you next time, Monsieur, Traveler, and Big Sis Paimon.
See you next time.
Huh, I guess this was truly it. Interesting. I actually have to think what I wanna do right now. Oh, I guess I'll use... Yeah. I have a new lazy fighting group. Which I'm pretty happy that... I mean, I didn't discover it. I saw it. Someone else posting the strategy. It's not about being the fastest at clearing the domain, but being the laziest at clearing them. Wicked.
Strike a pose! Let the world come alive! Grow!
Wait, what was it? Oh yeah.
Shine down!
Oops.
Make yourselves a move!
Seems like an emergency.
The doctor will see you now. Illusion shattered! Yoo-hoo!
A bitter pill to swallow.
Ah, this is so cool. That's what I mean. Just throw out a few abilities that don't do anything afterwards. Oh, wait, what? I have only 2? Wait, I thought I had more. Well, let me leave the domain. Not sure what I want to do now. Maybe just
Ad Astra.
start the event quest.
Thank you for complete.
Okay, now we switch back. Huh? The cool thing about this is this whole strategy is only possible with the 3 Archons for the sole reason that for Nailu you have to stay close to the enemy. But Furina's ability chases the enemy. And the same goes for Wyden's ability just triggers when the enemy gets hit, which is hit by Furina, and I mean, Nahida's is already close range to begin with. I mean, far range. Far range? No. Long range? No, I don't know. Something like that. Why are you the crest giver?
That can't be right. Oh, but what if they're real after all? No, that can't be. But what if there's a chance?
Greetings, miss. Is there something that's bothering you?
Oh, no, it's nothing. I'm Della Roche, the representative of the Fontaine Fishing Association. How can I help you?
Wait, that's a commission?
Oh, so you're adventurers. Oh, finally. Someone has heard my prayers.
Paimon could tell you were really bothered by something. Don't worry, you've got 2 super experienced adventurers right here. We'll take care of anything and everything for you as long as you pay us a little bit of mora.
Oh, you are exactly the helpers I need. See, the problem is that the fish around a fishing spot at Araneus have just all up and vanished recently. They disappeared too quickly for it to have been the work of human anglers. As the representative of the Fishing Association, I had planned to go and investigate the area right away.
What?
Right, but unfortunately, as the representative of the Fishing Association, there are a few other errands that I absolutely have to run. So
you'd like us to investigate the spot for you?
Exactly, you're right on the Mora. So I thought I could delegate this work to you. Are you two some kind of prophets, knowing exactly what I was going to say like that? Or maybe like the oracles you read about in fairy tales?
No. We just heard it so many times at this point.
Yeah, we're just really experienced in this kind of thing, that's all.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. I'll get a good night's sleep knowing the two of you are on the case.
But don't we just need to investigate the missing fish? It really doesn't sound too difficult.
No, you mustn't let your guard down. As the representative of the Fishing Association, I have good reason to believe that the fish have gone missing due to an encounter with the water imps.
Water imps?
Yes, you're both Outlanders, right? Our local fairy tales often speak of a terrifying underwater creature called Thelxie. The story our parents would tell us was always the same. If we went to the water alone, then we'd be snatched away and eaten by a water imp called Thelxie.
A child-eating water imp? Did they tell you what it looked like?
My father would always describe it as a beautiful, multicolored snake woman, while my mother said it had a handsome face. It's really strange, though, because you'd also hear other people describe it as just a chubby penguin with a deceptive appearance. Even though the tales vary regarding its appearance, everyone agrees that it's really dangerous. It lives in an underwater cave surrounded by pallid bones and uses its sensitive nose to track down lonely children who've lost their way. And once it finds a child, it uses its alluring singing voice to lure them into the water before swallowing them all. Pretty terrifying, isn't it?
Sounds kinda scary. But isn't that pretty normal for a fairy tale? After all, those kinds of stories are usually made up to help keep children away from danger.
But what if the fairy tale was inspired by a real-life tale? Just like how a water vein always has a source.
Okay.
Well, I wouldn't call it evidence per se, but I've heard some rumors lately. They say that someone recently saw a child walk into the water as if he was possessed by something. Doesn't that sound just like he was responding to the call of a water imp?
So you mean someone really got eaten by a water imp?
It's all hearsay, so it's hard to confirm. But still, they all say this happened on Araneus. That's no laughing matter if you ask me. Both the Opera House and the Fountain of Lucine were built there, and the sources of many water veins can be traced to the island as well. Combine that with the mysterious mist, the huge tree with expansive underground roots, and the rumor that the fish heps on the island can understand human language. Is it really so shocking that an island so shrouded in mystery could harbor a terrifying water imp as well?
Why does Paimon feel like you're pulling our leg. You're just piling on the rumors now. Still, if someone's really been hurt, then we can't just ignore the situation, right, Traveler?
Yeah, we check it out.
Oh, marvelous. Then I'll just mark the stretch of water on your map. Don't forget that no matter what, safety always comes first.
Thelxie's Fantastic Adventure? Oh, it's far away. Oh, that is at a place I haven't been. Well, kind of. I haven't even looked at a lot of the new locations yet. I haven't even done the last expansion with the Fortress of Meropide since I just didn't feel like it.
Is this the stretch of water Delaroche was talking about? It looks really peaceful. Huh? Look, there's some footprints over there.
Where? I don't see any. Footprints? Are you drunk, Paimon? Where did they come from?
These look pretty fresh. Did the water imp get someone again? Let's look around and see if we can find anything else. Wait, did you hear something just now?
Paimon? Traveler?
Fremine.
I'm sorry. I forgot I was still wearing this.
Fremine!
Paimon, are you okay?
Paimon nearly mistook you for a water imp. Thank goodness it was just you wearing your helmet.
Huh? A water imp?
Investigating a water imp called Thelxie.
Thelxie, you say? How surprising.
Huh? You know that name too? Or do you know someone else is trying to investigate the water imp?
No, I think our situations are probably unrelated.
Okay, what's going on?
Sure, if that's in order.
Why would that be in order?
I know the name because of one of my employers. She noticed the clockwork penguins I brought to the workshop and contacted me through the shop's owner. She has commissioned me to make a special toy. Following her request, I've named the toy Thelxie.
Huh? But isn't it a little creepy to name a toy after a water imp? Wait, hold on! Fremine, you never take commissions from other people!
Yeah, but, she made a special request, but out of respect for her privacy, I can't really talk about it. It's alright though. She'll be coming over to check on my progress shortly, and I'll just tell her that you're two of my trustworthy companions. Hearing that, she might be willing to share some information, and you'll be able to continue with your investigation.
Huh. Even though you seem a little cold and reserved sometimes, you're still really considerate. Our target isn't necessarily the water imp, though. We're primarily here to investigate the disappearance of the fish.
The fish? I think I may have connected the dots. These past few weeks, I've been taking Thelxie for underwater testing every day. The pressure testing makes a lot of noise. So, all that about the disappearing fish? Well, it was probably because of me.
So that's all it was? That actually makes a lot of sense. Wait, so could that mean the child we heard about who walked into the water was also...
Fremine preparing for another day of work?
Yes, I think that's quite likely as well.
He doesn't look like a child anymore.
So in the end, it was just Fremine! Paimon spent all this time imagining what a water imp from the fairy tales might look like, and it all turns out to be just a hoax.
I'm sorry. It sounds like I've created a lot of trouble for everyone else as well. I'll try to finish this commission as soon as possible. Once I'm done, the fish should come back.
Don't worry, it was just a misunderstanding.
Thank you.
Actually, how much work do you still have left, Remine? Maybe we could lend you a hand.
Thanks for offering. But I can't trouble you any more than I already have.
Hey, it's no trouble at all. Didn't you just call us your trustworthy companions? Companions are all about helping each other, you know.
But don't you need to report back to your commissioner?
Nope, that's not how it works. See, Paimon's got these commissioner types all figured out. Even though we were just tasked with finding out why the fish had gone missing. If we tell them now that it was all just a misunderstanding, you can bet they'd just immediately hand us another commission to help them get the fish back.
We're just really experienced in this kind of thing, that's all.
Exactly! So if we can help you finish up your work and get the fish back, that would save us an extra trip!
Is that what you'd like to do as well?
Yeah, I guess.
Huh. Alright, I'll trust your judgment. Please follow me. I've made a makeshift camp over there.
Pingu!
I've stored Thelxie in the tent. He can respond to some simple verbal commands. You can try calling his name and see if he'll come over.
Whoa, sounds pretty advanced. Let Paimon give it a try. Hey, Thelxie, are you there? So that's Femine's version of Thelxie. It's also penguin-shaped, just like Pear.
Yep. Had Thelxie lived in Penguin Town, he'd probably have become great friends with Pear.
Where's Penguin Town?
It's not really anywhere famous or important. Don't worry about it.
Hey, Thelxie. Nice to meet you. Do you know how to say hello?
So can Thelxie talk?
I wanted to install a language output module, but due to time constraints, I had to give up on the idea.
Dang it.
As it stands, Thelxie can only output messages that were pre-written into its motherboard. I haven't given him the ability to convert those messages into discernible words, so he can't really talk to us just yet.
No need to get so technical. So basically, you want us to help you complete and install this language module, right?
No, there's no need. That wasn't one of my employer's requests. It was just something I wanted to try. I have two other things I'd like your help with. The first is to do some integration testing on Thelxie's motherboard, to make sure he will be able to function properly in most situations.
That doesn't sound too hard. And what's the other thing?
The other shouldn't take too long either. You'll need to find Thelxie some colorful shells and coral, so I can craft a weapon for him.
Weapon?
A weapon? Will Thelxie have to fight?
Mm-hmm. Thelxie will need to be able to charge forward with a weapon in hand, like that brave prince of legend. It's a part of my employer's request.
What an imaginative employer! Naming Thelxie after a water imp, but wanting him to look like a prince?
Well, regardless of his role or species, Thelxie's purpose is the same. Just like Pear, he has come to this world to serve as somebody's companion.
Whoa, Thelxie just said something again! Could he understand what we were just talking about?
He can react to certain key words, but unfortunately, due to the lack of a translation module, he still can't quite communicate with us.
That's a pity. But anyway, the most important thing right now is for us to get to work. Maybe let's start by doing some testing on the motherboard. That sounds like something we can do here in the camp.
Sounds good. The motherboard is on my workbench, so please follow me.
Wait, I thought it's in him. Why would it be on the workbench?
Ah, here we go. I have this testing manual, so feel free to reference it if you get stuck. Want to give it a try? It's okay if you don't succeed immediately. I've got a lot of backup boards just in case. Okay, knowing you, I'm sure you'll be able to figure it out.
It's one of those things again, isn't it? Oh, no, it isn't. Left click and drag twist. Okay. Okay.
Tea parties are a must for the well-mannered.
You're doing well. Just as I expected.
We've taken on a lot of similar tasks before, you know.
Then let's move on to the underwater part. It's just as I mentioned earlier. We're after colorful shells and coral. Oh, speaking of which, you're both already pretty used to Fontaine's underwater environment, right?
Yep.
Okay, that's good. Just let me know if you ever feel uncomfortable. I'll make sure to stay right by your side.
Alright. How far do I have to go? Pretty far. No waypoints, huh?
It should be right over there. We'll be able to find something that'll help us with our search. This is it. We call this thing an echoing conch. It can detect special reflection waves in the water to help us with all kinds of underwater exploration and excavation efforts. Here, try it. Did you notice any interesting places? The echoing conch should have detected some just now. Let's go check them out. Alright, these should be enough. Let's head back to camp. Thank you for staying out here with me all this time.
What are these doing? Eh? I don't understand how this one even works. Oh, maybe I should have read more of this. Eh? Wait, are you trying? Why are you trying to attack me, you little shit? Wait, what was that? Oh, wait, what was that? Oh, interesting. So it does something. Why are they attacking me even? I didn't do anything to you! It's so hostile. Oh. Probably have to first. Oh, whoops. Oh, it's this kind of thing. What? There we go. And now I probably take this. But what? Oh. Oh, I have to. Oh, I thought I have to get it. Okay, so I have to somehow lift it. Through them. They're all aligned. There we go. Okay, we turn to camp. I am kind of close to this one though, so I will probably go there first. Where is it? Oh, there. Don't even know. Oh.
Shower me with praise!
I really like this ability to just run on water. Okay, now I can just go here and... Oh. Oh! They really don't like that, huh?
The doctor will see you.
Who are you? God, you look like NPC model 105. Yep, you look very generic.
Ah, Fremine, you're back. I thought you might have been out diving.
I'm sorry, Madame d'Estray. I must have kept you waiting. I can report, though, that the construction of Thelxie is going quite smoothly.
There's no rush. I'm your employer, not your supervisor. And these two are...
Oh, they're two of my trustworthy companions. They're here to help me work on Thelxie.
Yes, I see. I suppose it's only natural for someone responsible like you to have some reliable friends.
It's really nice to meet you, Madame d'Estray. Are you Fremine's employer? Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler.
Greetings, my new friends. Just call me Zuria. You are both so adorable. The sight of you reminds me of little fairies under a cottage roof.
Oh, do you really think so?
Do I look like a fairy too?
Of course. If my child had friends like you, then perhaps he wouldn't have become so obsessed with the tales of water imps. And I wouldn't have had to trouble Fremine here with this commission.
Obsessed with the tales of water imps?
Ah, so you don't know anything about my request yet? I would have thought Fremine had explained it to you already.
Well, Fremine told us that it was a private matter, so he didn't want to just share it willy-nilly.
I see. So Monsieur Fremine is even more discreet than I had thought. As you are assisting him with the project, I believe it'll be beneficial for you to learn more about its vision and history. But it would be quite impolite of me to simply pile all of my troubles on you without your permission. So, Would you like to listen to my story?
Sure, you can tell us anything. You've already said nice things about us, so we'll try our best to help you get through your troubles.
Oh wow, that's a oh, god dang it. I wish there would have been an option. I would say, nah, I'm fine. I'm just here for the Primo gems.
Ah, what a lovely little fairy. Then let me think of a way to put my situation into words. I'm sure you're already familiar with the tale of the water imps, right? Simply put, parents came up with a story, painting water imps as scary abductors in an effort to convince their children to stay away from the water. My child is rather special, however. While most other children are terrified of Thelxie, he's infatuated with him.
Infatuated? With a water imp? What a brave soul.
Yes, he told me that he thought the water imp might have just been misunderstood. In his mind, instead of singing to abduct children, the water imp actually sang out of a longing for companionship. As a result, he often goes near the water in secret.
What an imaginative child.
Huh. So he wanted to become friends with the water imp so it wouldn't be lonely any longer? What a unique way of thinking.
Thank you, little Paimon. He indeed has always stood out from the crowd. He was actually diagnosed with loneliness syndrome when he was only 8 years old.
What the heck is a loneliness syndrome?
It's a type of mental disorder. Those affected by it often feel extremely lonely and lose interest in many mundane activities. The syndrome is probably what made him so determined to become friends with the water imp.
Is that an actual disorder? It's characterized by a constant and unrelenting feeling of being alone, separated or divided from others, and an inability to connect on a deeper level. Can also be accompanied by deeply rooted feelings of self-doubt, low self-esteem, or social anxiety. That just sounds like me. I feel like a lot of people have that. Isn't it almost the same as the imposter syndrome? The sense of not belonging? Wait, the name of a loneliness disorder is borderline personality disorder, BPD? Have an intense fear of being rejected, abandoned, or alone. Makes it difficult to regulate emotions. Can be harder. Okay, no, I don't have that. So. Okay. Huh.
Oh no. Is it a very serious disorder?
If you were to become afflicted with the disorder, Paimon, you would only be able to say less than a fraction of the words you're saying to the traveler now.
No! Paimon won't accept that! We would have to find a doctor to help cure Paimon. Paimon has a 2,000-word quota for daily conversations with the traveler, and she won't settle for a single word less!
Oh god, just shut up!
The family doctor has already begun to treat my son, but since the disorder is rare, there aren't many good regimens for treatment. He's also developed some new symptoms lately, such as uncontrollable delusions.
The what?
Huh? Uncontrollable what now?
Uncontrollable delusions. To put it simply, he can no longer differentiate between fantasy and reality, and spends all his time in his fantasy world.
So it's a form of autism, what you're telling me.
Then what is he seeing in his fantasy world?
It's a dream that he often mentioned to me when he was younger. I've compiled what I could understand of his recent rambling. It goes a bit like this.
And they couldn't afford the voice actor to pair this, to pay this, yeah. Was splendid and magnificent underwater kingdom of water imps on the Salacia plain, 500 feet beneath the surface. Countless lovely water imps lived in houses made of rainbow shells and cowls, tending to sea animals during the day and singing between fields of golden tidalga during the night. Everyone led carefree and blessed lives until the day of the Iridescence Parade, the important festival during which the new king would be crowned. Before the festival, all water imps would select the most precious pearl they owned, wrap it in golden branches and leaves, and offer it to their most beloved prince. And during the day of the parade, the prince would cross a rainbow bridge made from all the offered shells and accept the crown from his father amid the applause of his subjects. Finally, the new king would bless everyone with his well wishes. And as for the prince's name, it's none other than Thelxie.
Amazing! Your son came up with all of this? He really crafted a lovely fairy tale world for Thelxie. It's like a beautiful dream.
But perhaps no beautiful dream can ever last long. You see, the story ended with a twist.
Oh god, here the depression comes. The day of Iridescence Parade came as expected, but countless monsters also arrived alongside the prince. The monsters were evil and cruel, and they struck fear into all the water imps' hearts. The water imps, adept singing as they were, could not defend themselves against the monsters, so the kingdom fell. The king was killed, and the water imps were locked behind bars. The rainbow bridge lost its color and crumbled away. The prince was barely able to escape with the help of a mysterious masked individual, but he had already lost everything and could only spend his days singing mournful songs. And just as the prince sang out of loneliness, so could his song only be heard by similarly lonely children.
How could the story end like this? Is that kind of fantasizing what caused your son to develop his loneliness syndrome?
Well, it'd be more accurate to say that it was the syndrome that caused such terrible delusions to manifest. But in any case, the biggest problem is the patient eventually loses themselves to the fantasy world of their own creation.
My poor child can no longer differentiate between imagination and reality. He's begun to see himself as Thelxie.
Perhaps in his mind, the loneliness he felt became the same as that of a prince who lost everything he ever loved or stood for.
What? So that's what you meant by uncontrollable delusions. Then we have to help him snap out of it.
Alas, most of the time he acts as if he can no longer sense or interact with the real world at all. I've had several discussions with the doctor, and we think it is best to try to guide his fantasy.
Guide his fantasy?
He once wanted to make a picture book of his imaginary world, but since the disorder progressed too quickly, he never quite got past the first page of the book. If we could use this book as a breakthrough for his condition. Here, you can take a look.
Ah, so Zuria's son also saw Thelxie as a penguin. Oh, he looks so sad.
What we should do now is help him complete this picture book. However, we'll lead the story to a different ending. One where the water imp prince is eventually able to restore his kingdom with the help of his friends. We'll need to chase away his loneliness and sorrow and let him perceive a world full of hope again. That's what I mean by guiding his fantasy.
But if we just need to finish the picture book, why does Fremine need to make a Thelxie as well?
I mean, maybe he actually recognizes it.
Because we need to treat the book's story seriously, as if it's a history of things that have really happened. We'll need to go on a journey like Thelxie and help him regain his crown and country. But my child can no longer go on a journey of his own. This is why I commissioned Fremine here to craft a Thelxie, and then I'll paint the journey with this Thelxie into the picture book.
Ah, like a stand-in for your son! Paimon's starting to get it now. Oh, you really put a lot of thought into this, Zuria. Paimon still has one question, though. Where will we be able to find a water imp kingdom?
There are some ruins on the seabed of the Salacia Plains. I've already asked Fremine to research them for me. We'll be able to use one of the ruins as the kingdom.
Oh, so we'll just need to act out a performance of, a brave journey through the kingdom of water imps. As long as we chase away the monsters in the ruins, it'll count as chasing away the monsters in the Water Imp Kingdom, right?
Sadly, no. We won't just be putting on a performance. It's just as Zuria said. We need to take this seriously. And the only way we can take this seriously is if we choose to believe everything that's happening is real.
So we'll be playing it straight? Or, making it a fully immersive experience? Oh, neither of those really sound right. Well, either way, we'll still be able to help, right?
Yeah, sure.
It's all right. There's no need to get that serious. It's not a big deal. I believe in my son. We can just see this as him wanting to stay asleep for a bit longer because he's so enamored with his dream.
Zuria.
Keep your spirits up, everyone. If we were to look troubled, my son is sure to become anxious as well. I should be heading back right about now to check on my son. We temporarily moved to a place on the hill over there, so my son will have a better spot to convalesce. It's not far from the water, and there's also a great view. Feel free to come find me if anything urgent comes up.
Understood. There's also one last thing. Since these two friends were able to help me out, I've made some more progress on Thelxie. I estimate that he should be ready sometime tomorrow.
That's great news. I must thank you all. With that in mind, how about we meet here in 2 days' time to head to the Kingdom of Water Imps?
Alright.
Alright, everyone. Let's meet again in another 2 days.
Zuria sure is a brave and optimistic lady. Fremine, do you think her plan will work out?
Let's discuss that over by the tent. There were a few things that I didn't bring up because the Madame was here.
Reminds me of Pokemon sounds. Oh god. Wait, one for convenience? Oh.
What is it, Fremine? What did you want to say?
If you don't mind me asking, I would like the two of you to mentally prepare yourselves.
For what?
This is the first time that you've met anyone with the syndrome, right? I know you two are both really strong and will do everything you can to help the child. But with the syndrome being the way it is, if things don't quite turn out as we wish, I hope you'll be able to accept the outcome and not put too much blame on yourselves.
Fremine, why do you bring this up all of a sudden? Didn't we just promise Zuria that we'll be optimistic about everything working out?
It's not that I'm not optimistic. It's just...
You know this illness really well. You have it, don't you?
So that's why you looked like you knew exactly what she was talking about. Wait, Fremine, don't tell Paimon that you also...
No.
What?
Please don't misunderstand. I've never had it. I've just seen many cases of it at the House of the Hearth, back when we lived under the previous director. They say there are many factors surrounding the development of this illness. I've heard everything from hereditary factors and one's state of mind, to environmental factors, and even ley line disorder effects. Some even say it could be caused by contamination from god remains. And from the cases I've seen, there weren't many positive outcomes. In the worst cases, the patient could even pass away.
What? It could get that serious? And here Paimon thought they'd just stop talking as much.
Yeah, that's just the nature of it. So if you'll find it difficult to cope with the worst case scenario, I would prefer that you back out right now. I don't want you to help only to feel like you failed.
Oh boy. Well, I've seen all kinds of strange and difficult things in my life. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Paimon's seen all of those things too. No matter how hard it might get, we won't be scared.
Really? Then in that case, let's see this real-life fantasy adventure together to the end.
Yeah! But Paimon has a question. If this illness can really be as bad as you've described, then do you really think Zuria's method will be able to help? After all, we'll just be using a toy as Thelxie and some ruins as the Kingdom of Water Imps. The whole adventure will only be turned into a picture book for her son to read.
Well, I think it should be able to do something. To harbor a fantasy means that the child wants to save himself somehow. The only reason he's allowed his dream kingdom to fall is because he's lost control of his heart. But if we can help him regain control and escape from the darkness, we'll be able to change his world. Like helping someone who's lost their voice be able to speak again.
Oh, Paimon sees what you're saying now. Huh. How do you understand all of this so well, Fremine?
Well, maybe because I've also had many of my own dreams in the past. I even had my own fairy tale world, much like that boy's. I was able to draw a lot of support from it, so I believe in the power of fantasy worlds.
So the penguin town you mentioned was...
So you remembered.
That was his fantasy world.
What Penguin Town? Why doesn't Paimon remember? Is that also a fairy tale world? Don't leave Paimon in the dark!
Puts out a diving helmet and puts it on his head.
Hey, why did you put that on?
It's just one of my personal quirks. Please pay it no mind. Anyway, Penguin Town is a peaceful place with lots of penguin residents. They're all really good at making clockwork toys. And Pear is the town's triumphant hero, as well as the one who quietly protects the whole place.
Pear? But didn't you make Pear yourself?
Oh.
Well, I often think that Pear only came to me because he realized how much I needed him. So it's not so much that I made Pear, as Pear chose me as his friend.
Fremine, are you sure you're not losing control of your fantasies as well?
Paimon, don't be insensitive.
No, I don't think so. I can still differentiate between fantasy and reality. I just believe that the fairy tale world of my dreams must also exist somewhere. It might just be hidden, which is why it's difficult to see. Or it will only reveal itself at very specific times.
Specific times? Like when you put on your diving helmet?
Yeah, that's the general idea of it.
Really? Paimon just said that because you put on your helmet.
Have you ever observed the surface world from underwater? It's as if you're viewing a whole different world from the outside. It's a very surreal feeling. Both alienating, but also as if you're being protected by something. I have a similar feeling when I put on my diving helmet. In those moments, it's possible to see some truly wondrous things, as if a fairy tale has become reality. It's almost like a sort of miracle.
Really? Like a miracle?
I wanna try on your helmet.
Well, if that's in order.
Yep, that's an order.
Hey, now's not the time! Fremine still has Thelxie's weapon to make. We don't want to bother him now.
Right. I still have to collect some tools I'll need to craft the weapon. I've got to finish everything before tomorrow. Thank you for reminding me, Paimon. I'm sure there'll be other opportunities for you to try my helmet. Thanks for all of your help. I'll be off for now. Let's meet up here again in 2 days.
Alright. Oh, that's the event page thingamabob. Motherboard troubleshooting this and whatever this is. Complete Prince of Code. That is a pretty cool visual though. Wait until 2 days later. Literal 2 days, huh? But I will start with this one. The debugging feature of broken circuits will immediately connect when the signal passes through an inductive switch to the corresponding color. What? This is too easy. Wait, okay. Oh, okay. Wait, what? For a while you can use the debug mode. Clues? What? Oh, that there you go. Oh, okay. Huh. Oh, I can't delete these. Wait, that can't be as easy as that. If he goes here, he switches this and has to go here, but this one would trigger it way too early. Maybe I can just make him walk here? Oh. Yeah, that's the problem. Can I change? just have to walk longer. Yep. Wait, isn't that the exact same? Huh? Wait, that is the exact same, isn't it? Yeah, that is the same. Alright. Ah, Primogen. What was the other thing? Oh. Yeah, might as well. Oh yeah, I haven't been here as well. Why would you still want to use a boat if you can just basically underwater swim, aka the flight mechanic, hopefully in another nation? Make Superman 64 great again. I mean, it was never great, so you have to make it great first, and then... I mean, this is what most of the underwater challenges are about. Swim through wings, just like in Superman 64. But it looks prettier, and that makes a lot of difference. Kind of. Oh. Wait, you're attacking me now too? Oh. Okay. Well then. Oh. Oh, oh, I think I'm taking a break, or rather, maybe I'm done for today. I don't know yet.